You've just got a fresh tattoo and you love it and it looks good and you want to keep it looking good. Well, I'm here to help teach you how to take care of that fresh tattoo. My name is Winnie the Jroo, and today we will be going over Tattoo Aftercare. So depending on the size and amount of ink that was put into your skin, these instructions can vary just a little bit. So I'm going to give you guys the aftercare instructions that I give to my clients. Now, I primarily do large scale work, so there's a lot of trauma to the skin. So I'll be going over the procedures on how to take care of a big tattoo with lots of ink. So after you get a big tattoo, usually your artist will wrap you up in saran wrap. Leave the saran wrap on overnight so that the ink and the plasma that's leaking from your fresh tattoo doesn't ruin your bed sheets. Because believe me, I've ruined plenty of sheets before. Not like that, you sick bastards. Sheet assassin. Do not put the saran wrap on again when you wake up. You do not need to put saran wrap back on the next day. You want to let your tattoo breathe before you put the Saniderm on. Now, the morning after your tattoo, you're going to want to wash it. An important thing to keep in mind is that tattoos are open wounds. So you only want to wash your tattoo with antibacterial soap. The best soap to use is non-scented antibacterial soap. Now, after you wash your fresh tattoo with antibacterial soap, you're going to want to pat dry it or let it air dry. And if you try to dry it off with a towel, you will obviously feel why you want to let it air dry. And that's just going to hurt. Now, you'll want to do this in the morning and also in the afternoon. And you're going to want to wash this tattoo with lukewarm water. Not too hot, not too cold. Now, between washing it in the morning and in the afternoon, you're going to want to moisturize your tattoo with ointment. I personally prefer to use hustle butter. Now, the reason why I prefer to use hustle butter is because it has a very thin viscosity. It's oil-based, so it melts really easily and is very easy to spread into the skin. Now, it's important to remember that when you're applying your ointment, that you want to rub the hustle butter into the tattoo, but you don't want to put on such a thick layer that you have it sitting on top of the tattoo. You want it in the tattoo, but not on the tattoo. You don't want to oversaturate the skin with the ointment. Now, the reason why I prefer to use hustle butter over Vaseline is because it's very oil-based versus being petroleum-based. Petroleum-based jellies and ointments are very thick and they can suffocate the tattoo. Hustle butter, on the other hand, has a much thinner viscosity, which makes it easy to rub into the tattoo. You want your skin to be able to absorb the ointment. Now, 24 to 48 hours after the tattoo, you're going to want to apply Saniderm. Now, what Saniderm is, it's medical grade adhesive that you're going to put onto the tattoo, and it's going to stay on the tattoo for 5 days. So Saniderm is flexible, so it can move the skin. It's breathable, so it's not going to suffocate your tattoo while you wear it. It's waterproof and it's comfortable, so it will last through the duration of the 5 days with no problem. And it's see-through, so you can still see your fresh tattoo. A couple things that are important to remember when applying Saniderm is you don't want any ointment on your skin underneath the Saniderm. So you want to make sure that it's washed, cleaned, and dry before you apply the Saniderm. Otherwise, that ointment's going to get trapped underneath the Saniderm, and you don't want that. So there's 3 layers to the Saniderm. First, you're going to peel off the back layer, which is the white layer. Apply the adhesive part to the skin. And then you're going to peel off the top layer, which is the clear hard shell layer. It also helps if you apply Saniderm in strips and lay them on like shingles. This allows more mobility throughout the duration of the time that you're going to wear the Saniderm. You're going to leave the Saniderm on for 5 days. Throughout these 5 days, the Saniderm will help protect it, it'll expedite the healing process, and it'll keep your tattoo nice and sterile, which is what we want. We want to keep this clean because, like we said, this is an open wound, so we want to treat it as such. After the 5 days, you want to peel the Saniderm off like it's a command strip. You're going to peel it off the skin as such. It also helps if you take the Saniderm off in the shower or underneath running water to allow the running water to help you peel it off easier. Now, after you take the Saniderm off, You're not going to be completely healed yet. You will be close, but you'll still have a little bit of healing phase to go through left. So you're going to want to keep the tattoo moisturized with the rest of your hustle butter and protected from the sun with sunscreen. Okay, now that I've gone over some instructions on what to do to take care of your tattoos, let's go over some don'ts. You don't ever want to touch your tattoo with dirty hands. Remember, it is an open wound, and if you wouldn't touch an open wound with dirty hands, don't touch your new tattoo with dirty hands. You also don't want to let your hair touch your tattoo. Our hair has a lot of oils in it that's not good for tattoos. And more importantly, don't let your children or your animals touch your tattoos. And if your children are animals, especially don't let them touch your tattoos. Another big don't for fresh tattoos, don't work out. I know this is something that's really difficult for all you gym rats. Trust me, I feel you, but it is worth taking the time off to let your tattoo heal properly. Because what you don't want happening is you don't want to sweat excessively, especially while you have the Saniderm on. Because if you sweat underneath the Saniderm, all of that salty sweat is going to get trapped underneath that layer of derm, and you don't want that rubbing on your fresh tattoo. And sweating excessively goes for doing activities that make you sweat excessively. Running, working out, other things, you know what I'm talking about. Try to keep the sweat to a minimal amount. This includes swimming. Please, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again, don't go swimming with your fresh tattoos. That's crazy. Especially in pools that are filled with chemicals that are really bad for a fresh tattoo. Don't go swimming. No pools, no lakes, no oceans. Just wait. The water will be there when your tattoo is healed. And lastly, don't go in the sun. You will feel the burn when you take your fresh tattoo into the sun. Do what you can, whether with loose clothing or just staying inside as often as you can while your tattoo is healing. And then when it is done healing, use sunscreen to protect your tattoo and keep it nice and fresh. So with all of these instructions of do's and do nots, your tattoos will heal beautifully and look like this for the rest of your entire life, and you can love and cherish these masterpieces like they deserve to be. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching and happy healing. I'll see you next time. Peace.